So the next thing we're going to do is talk about lighting in Unity, and you can currently see that our scene has a directional light. I double click on that and you can see that it is actually creating a shadow here, as well as, let me double click on the sphere so you can kind of see it. There's some shadows here from the cube and from the sphere, and that's being caused by this directional light. When you click on the directional light, you can turn it off and on to see how it's actually working in the scene. Turning it off gives you still some ambient light, and that ambient light is coming from your sky material. So your sky is always going to cast light. So if you want something without light in the sky, you should use a really dark image for the sky, like the stars that we have. Just be aware of that. So if we turn this directional light back on, you can always change the color, intensity, and mode. You can actually turn the shadows off and on. You can kind of see that right here. Currently it's on soft shadows, but we can make it hard shadows if we wanted to. To add another light to the scene, we're just going to go to Create, Light, and then we're going to create a point light just for fun. And we're going to bring it up and bring it forward, and you can kind of see that that's going to illuminate the cube. Currently this light, as you can kind of see, is not casting any shadows. If I turn off the directional light so you can see this a little bit better, that point light's not going very far. It's not, its distance and range is quite limited. You can increase the range just by bringing it up, and that'll increase the amount of light that it produces. And then you can actually turn on hard shadows, and it will in fact make a shadow. So now we can see that the shadows actually are being created by this light. You can change the light's color just by clicking in the color area and changing the color of the light. And that's pretty much it for lights. Now, you do have a limitation on the amount of lights you can have in the scene. For instance, if I create another light and call this one a spotlight, and I'm going to just bring that up, and you can kind of see that there is a cone that this is making. I'm going to increase the range just like before, and I'm going to increase the intensity so it's a lot brighter. And I'm going to also increase the cone angle, or the spot angle, which makes the wider light. By rotating this light, you can actually get it to be directional, so you can actually aim it at things. You can kind of see how that works from this vantage point. So let's just double click on our sphere, go back to 3D, and there we go. So that's our spotlight, or our spotlight. Just go back and bring that up so you can see it. Now you can notice that this is also not casting a shadow yet, so again we can actually add the shadow here, and now it is also casting a shadow. When we add our third light to the scene, notice we have a red light. I'm just going to make this light blue so we know what we're looking at. So we've got our red light, our blue light. If we add a third point light to the scene as an example, and just move it up, you'll notice that it's not actually working. And the reason for that, or at least if it's causing the other lights to turn off. So, and the reason for that is because we don't have the quality setting for this scene high enough, and what we need to do is go into File, or I'm sorry, Edit, so Project Settings, Quality, and here in the quality settings we have to increase the pixel light count to take advantage of the number of lights that we want in the scene. So for instance, we'll need 5 lights for our scene. We'll put in 5 here. Once we've done that, you'll then see that this point light is in fact now working along with the other lights. So if I change this to a nice green, you'll see that it interacts with the red light and the blue light as well, and so it keeps working. And you can have up to 5 lights at this point in this scene if you want that. I can change the intensity of this red, so I can do that. So I've got red, I've got my blue light, and I've got my green light. So that's how lights are used in Unity.